how am I going to break over the barrier? This past month, I did $20,000, and that's great. But I feel such a drastic necessity for me to triple, quadruple, 10x down on what I'm doing, or I'm going to be completely screwed. And I can't shake this terrible feeling. When I was making a lot less money, I felt more confident in my ability to make more money. But now that I had such a, by my standard, such a great month, I I feel stuck and I want to surpass that hump and have it become a repeatable income statement that I can do every single month and hopefully strive to have some sort of progression with that. But at the very moment, I am not sure what to do. I think what I'm doing is working, but I'm not sure. And that scares me so much. It keeps me up most. It is all I can think about. And it bothers me on a very deep level. I don't know what to do. And I hoped talking about it to myself in my room alone would help with those worries, but the more I think about it, the more blank my mind feels. When I do have a subject that I know a lot about, I can talk about it for a while. If I want to tell my story on how I made $10,000 a month, I could tell you and how I could replicate it very, very easily. But I don't feel comfortable telling you that for $20,000 a month. I guess I feel like I got lucky. And I hate that feeling that I don't think I'll be able to replicate it. I I have another huge opportunity coming up. Like I said in a previous video talking about my plan to go from 10 to 50. I did a month where I did $20,000 without even moving down to Arizona where the guy I was supposed to be working with, and I still will be, but probably not until not probably not for another month or month and a half because there was some issues of conflict with his team, and I just want to make sure all that gets sorted out before I move down there. But I don't feel like I am working hard enough to be as prepared as I need to be for when I get that opportunity to where I can use it to its maximum degree. And that also scares me. That right now is a time when I feel like I have so much pressure on myself because I guess I have hyped up my abilities to so many people like my mother or my girlfriend. And I know I hopefully they don't see this, but when you over exacerbate your ability to do something and the results overshow, which they did, the results were amazing, then I get very, very cautious. And that's how I feel right now because I don't feel like I can live up to the ability for the standard that I set for myself. And I guess my problem now that I'm talking out arises because I think there's a pretty high chance that I fail. When in the past, I have never felt like I'll fail. And I think the reason why I never thought I would fail is because I never told anyone anything that I was doing. And now that I've said and I have documented that I have made this much money, this is my plan to do this, I feel an inherent pressure to perform on that level. And if I don't, I'm an utter failure. And that's was never the mindset I had going into anything. It was more so just, oh, let's do this, have a good time, learn as much as possible. It doesn't even matter if you make money. That's not even my main priority because I want to learn these skill sets so I can replicate it in the future and definitely make money. But that's not what's happening now. Now I am documenting this to not just the random person on the other side of the screen, to people that I actually care about and I care about their opinions and what they think of me. And I guess subconsciously I'm tying my worth to those opinions that I put out to other people about myself that I have for myself. And that probably doesn't make sense, but I didn't even realize this that until I started talking to my damn computer. So I guess what do I do now? And I think the only option is to outwork any doubts. And that's probably the aspect that I've been missing. That's definitely the aspect that I've been missing. If I outworked every single imaginable doubt, I know that my income stream would I would not care about the results of my income stream if I did every single thing in my power to set the position for me to learn skills to where I know that if it's not this month that I hit my goal, it would be very soon after. I guess that's the only answer. And if I was looking for some sort of shortcut just to get one answer that I guess we all look for on YouTube, I do it myself. You look for this one particular key. And if you learn that or figure that out, which is going to happen magically because that's all how and I think all of us perceive things to happen, and all your world's problems are going to end. And that one restraint that you had is gone. And now you're off for the races. But for me, that doesn't really work too well. Maybe for some other people. So shit. I guess that's my only option, is to outwork any doubt of myself that I have that would be reflected upon me by the worries I have of what other people think of me. And I guess I'm just now figuring out that I do care what other people think of me, even though I like to pretend to pride myself on the fact that I don't care about the opinion of other people. But everyone does. And that's such a tricky subject, even to admit to myself. I think in conversation with another human, this would be much more difficult. But I guess there is another human on the other side of this, so it stresses me out nonetheless. Let's see. I guess my next big opportunity is the way that I made $20,000 in the early September was I, for someone that I was working with, had a great idea to do something quasi maybe every 6 to 8 weeks, and we are doing that same sort of event towards the end of October. And I know the last time I made a lot of mistakes, and there was a very high chance that we kind of blew it, where I shouldn't have made $13,000 from that deal, including some of the other income streams that I have. I probably should have made 25, 30 just from that single day. So what I have to do is non-stop prepare to where that day goes absolutely perfectly. And I plan out the faults that happened on the first event, which was in the early September, to where that never happens. And anything else that happens, I can hopefully foresee, even though that will never happen. Problems will always arise, but I need to minimize that the highest degree possible. And then I think there are some touch points with the consumer that I could work on to help lead more traffic to what we're doing. And from that traffic, convert more people. And I have a few ideas for that. So I guess now that I'm talking it through, if I can implement on these things, October will probably be a record month to the end of October, most likely. But that still doesn't fix my problem of wanting to scale much further and removing me from that puzzle. That is probably years away, but it's something that I actively think about, because I do not want to be tied to my business if I want to do anything with it in the future. As of right now, I am the business, and that just means it's a high paying job. But right now, it doesn't even feel like that. Somehow, I feel like I am always broke. But I guess that is the way that you always feel. I felt that all that way anytime I would work out, and you start to see some sort of results. And then your friends at school or your uncles, just anywhere you go, they say, wow, you're looking big. You're looking pretty buff. Have you been working out? And you're like, yeah. But then you go and you wake up the next morning. You're like, holy shit, I'm so fucking fat. You stupid slob. Stop eating, you fucking pig. Or I don't know if everyone else does that, but I would do that nonstop, probably to a very stupid degree, to where I was cutting one time and I always wanted snacks. So what I would do is I would eat the snacks and then I would fucking spit them out. I wouldn't even swallow it. And I don't even know why I'm admitting this right now. And I used to do that a lot, to a very unhealthy degree. And I was shredded. I, objectively speaking, was probably 7.5% body fat. And I was spitting out my food when I would eat it, because I never saw the results, when even though other people would tell you you were doing so good. And I hear this a lot, that, oh, dude, you're doing fantastic. Just stay on the right path. And I can't help but think that everything I'm doing is a utter failure. Whew. I guess I got that one off my chest. Well, I hope to I don't know. I hope that I'm not making a video 2 months from now saying that I did not prepare as to a high enough degree that I needed to for this upcoming event, because that would make me very disappointed in myself. If I don't do these things that I tell myself and know that I need to do to see the maximum result that I'm aiming for and that I'm priding myself on. So I guess we'll see. And tomorrow I have to implement on a lot of the things, but then it's going to be a day-to-day process. It's probably going to take, I don't know how many hours a day. I won't know it until I really start digging down into it. But the thing that I learned is anytime I start digging down into something, you realize that you know nothing. And the further down you go, well, the thing that I know most about would be macroeconomics. And I'm going to be doing some more YouTube videos with my buddy called Macro After Dark. Shameless plug to my own YouTube channel, where we're going to talk about macro every day so I can enhance my speaking abilities and communication skills, because that is a goal that I so dearly want to have. And macro, which is the subject that I think I probably know most about, maybe working out, but a lot of people know about that. So the more niche down would be macroeconomics. And I know what I don't know. And that's as far as I am. And that probably took me 2-3 years to get to know so much, to know that I don't know anything. And I think you need to put in at least 100, 200 hours into something to realize that you know such a small fraction of what needs to be known around that subject. And once you get to that section, you realize that you don't know anything about anything until you have a few thousand, a lot more than that, a few thousand hours of deep work on that subject. So I guess for business, I have so few hours in the grand scheme of things that I know nothing. So why would I expect to be able to make X amount of money if I have not put in the previous time to make that sort of money that is needed without being lucky? And I felt like I've gotten very, very lucky so far. So yes, that is still to be foreseen. Thank you guys. Or hopefully, I actually hope that there's really no one watching, but I'm posting it anyway. We'll see.